When night falls on Wajir, a ritual older than memory begins. Metal meets sand, hands lift, pour and replace. This is not just waste being carried away. This is survival. This is the bucket latrine system of Wajir. Beneath these streets lies a secret. Water so close to the surface, it sustains life and threatens it. For Wajir's 200,000 residents, the earth gives and takes. Dig too deep for a latrine, and the gift of water becomes poisoned. The town floats above its own lifeline.
Hii town hii iko a lot of monument ya World War II. After the World War II, the British introduced this bucket system. Walipoona kwamba maji ni karibu, hawa ndio wali-introduce. Na mkitembelea hapa town utaona a lot of that. Nearly 60-70% ya town bado wanatumia bucket toilet. Hawa watu walikuwa wanachukua hiyo toilet, walikuwa wanafanya kazi usiku wakati watu wamelala, kwa shauri ya kuzuia harufu mbaya ama ugonjwa wote. The town was very clean and very beautiful. Na karibu na hiyo bucket toilet walikuwa wanachimba sock pit. Sock pit ambayo inawekwa mawe ndani. Hiyo maji ya kuogea na mambo kama yote inaingia pale. Mambo ilipoendelea tulipofika 1984. Soon after the Wagala massacre, hii town imeanza ku-expand.
As Mohammed Agane tells it, the bucket latrine is older than colonial maps, always emptied under the cover of night so the streets would wake clean, a silent path between dignity and survival. But as Wajir grew, so did the shadows of disease. Cholera, dysentery, carried not in buckets but in the air and water.
Mambo ambaye kubwa sana sasa mnaona hapa environment ya Wajir ni mambo ya toilet. 1992 wazungu walijaribu kubadilisha namna ya choo ya bucket, lakini kwa wenyewe usiku wanaamka ile wazungu na kutoa hiyo bucket kutoka nyumba ya watu, hakuna kitu mbadilisha. Ya pili, environment ile kitu zaidi wameharibu hapa. Mvua kinyesha, maji haina drainage hii mji ambaye maji inaenda kupotea. Kwa ni flat. Unasikia ile toilet zinaingia maji. Ile sotbit ambayo ilitengenezwa kwa chini ya ardhi, maji zinaingia ile maji ile zinatembea. Hiyo maji zinatembea inaenda kila wapi? Kila mahali. Saa nyingine wanaingia ndani ya kisima. Shida hiyo ni bado tuko nayo.
With nearly 70% of Wajir's people still tied to the bucket system, history is not behind them. It's under their fate.
When I was a child in Wajir, in 80s and 70s, I remember Wajir, the population was not as big as it is today. We had about 20 or 30,000 people by then. But the population has gone tenfold now. People used to live in villages without toilet systems. They used to do open defecation. Only few people had toilets, the ones who were living within the CBD of Wajir town. The rest used to live in what's called manyatas. We had a manyata in Bulahodan, Bulojogo, Wagberi, and many others. So most of the population, out of the probably 20,000, only about 200 or 300 people could manage toilet facilities. And then Wajir had not many wells by then. We had very few shallow wells. In each village, maybe you could get 5 to 10 wells, which is communally shared, which we used to call, in English, in Somali, we used to call waqaf. Like in Bulahodan, we had a place called El Ma'an. Most people used to come from other villages to get water there because it is believed that the water was softer. It was not as hard as other waters from the other villages. So generally, water was shared, and we had very, very few shallow wells. If I may speak of present, the population has exploded. It has gone tenfold that time. But now everybody has got overhead shower, overhead tank, and a septic tank for those lucky ones. The rest use what's called bucket latrines. This has been exacerbated by climate vagaries or climate change, what is called. At times, the bucket latrine is one thing that has been there for many, many years, because the British, the people who govern this place, believed that Wajir could not sustain any other sanitation method because of the shallow wells. You know, historically, this is something that was inherited, that the use of bucket latrines.
In 2004, one of non-governmental organizations brought another methodology called UDDT, urine diverted dry toilet. So it couldn't pick up because of its cost implication. So basically, up to date, we are using the bucket latrine because of the level of the water that is on the higher table.
Every week, every day, we go from 5 to 7, up to all of lines within the town. So we cover almost 47 lines in a week. That's about like 2,000 packets in a week.
I think Wajir is one of the counties in Kenya with a unique problem of sanitation. We all know that the economical status of the people, coupled with the landscape in terms of water, the availability of water in terms of the shallowness of the water, may not be able to have a proper sanitary system in this county. People are opting to have what you call septic tanks, and if not properly moderated, may lead to what you call mixing of the fecal matter into the wells, the shallow wells. That's why the public health play a pivotal role. The county government of Wajir has been putting a lot of emphasis in this, especially in areas we don't have proper toilets. We have what we call a program called open defecation free system, mostly done in our villages. In our society or our lifestyle mostly is what we call nomadic lifestyle. People moving from one villages to another, creation of new settlement, so which is not properly planned. So people come and settle whenever the animals die, or they are, because of the cyclic droughts, animals die. So what people do, they do normally have settlements. So in kind of settlements, then we try to see how best to minimize open defecation free in a program through open defecation free system, where we help them in the construction of pitch latrines. That Wajir is one of the counties that had frequent cyclic cholera outbreaks, but now it's minimizing because of this program of open defecation free. We tend to have this program where they tend to have septic tanks. We normally design for them with help of town administration. We design for them to ensure they fit within the criteria of having a proper septic design, so to avoid leakage of fecal matters into the water systems.
The land resists easy answers. The flat topography, the fragile water table, nature itself has drawn the lines. But in the office of Wajwaskal and the County Health Department, plans are being written, blueprints of hope sketched into the dust.
The new plan involves is highly technical project. It is what will happen is that the waste will be collected here through the use of exhausters As you can see, we have a couple of them there. So the exhausters will dump into the dam site, into the entry bay, and then from there, the liquid and the waste, liquid waste and the solid waste will be separated. It will go after several stages. Finally, a clean water will come out, which will be released into the environment, which is very safe, so that the trees and everything can grow there perfectly. And the solid waste can be used, will be put at dry. The system will put the solid waste aside, dry them, and then the final products can be modeled to briquettes, where we can use for either firewood or manure, or any, it can even create employment. I think the first concern for the governor, especially the administration and the governor, was water and sanitation. Thanks to God now, through the World Bank, the sanitation issue is being addressed. For the water, we have got phase 2, which we are doing a long-term plan. We are trying to get water from far distance, a couple of almost 150 kilometers away from here. The design is going on very well. That's been done. So now at the final stage. From there again, we look for fundings. The county, of course, will also contribute. That's the long-term plan. But in short term, we have some water posers also there. We are trying to utilize the water that we can get around this town. The county has just drilled a borehole now, which we get some good amount of water. We are also planning to do 4 more or 5 more. 4 will be done by the World Bank, and the county is going to add other 4 or 3. So those now will address the town in short term.